Good day, folks. Morning to you if you're in Britain. It's now 10:30 in the morning, 10 a.m. in the morning if you're in Britain. If you're elsewhere, then good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So Trump's bombing of Iranian nuclear facilities. What is the British response? Now, if you're Starmer, you're scratching your head. You're wondering, which way do I step? Not jump, step, because he's a very cautious man. The problems that have been exacerbated by Israel bombing the Iranian military forces, and then USA Trump's incursion that is said to have destroyed Iran's nuclear bomb-making facilities, are seen here in the UK as a political and safety explosion on our own soil. David Lammy, our overseas Labour politician, Foreign Secretary, was scurried over to the USA with meetings with Trump officials and then to Europe for more meetings, but his presence was seen by political and military pundits as irrelevant. As Trump chose to ignore him, and Iran's ambassadors and spokespeople also see him as irrelevant and do not want to talk to him. Who is David Lammy? Iranian people say he is a representative of government whose leader changes his stance on practically everything, making U-turns seemingly on a weekly basis. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer chalked up de-escalation, whilst US President Donald J. Trump went ahead with bunker-blasting bombing of the 3 nuclear tunnels that were sunk deeper than England-France Channel Tunnel. The deeper. Starmer was out of step. He looked irrelevant, and when I say that, it's worse than that. He's clearly not listened to in any shape or form by Donald Trump. I have been led to believe we are now quietly moving some of our defence assets to the region, but back home. So we're moving our assets to the region, our military assets, I should say. But back home, MI5, the Director of MI5, has revealed 20 Iranian terrorist plots have been foiled on our land. Iranian plots. The Director General of MI5 said the UK had responded to 20 Iranian-backed plots since the start of 2022, and these plots presented potentially lethal threats here at home. We're at war with Iran, whether we like it or not. If they've caught 20 lethal plots, how many other plots were stopped? And how many are the government admitting? Okay. A source involved with an Iranian opposition group warned the regime as a massive network in the UK promoting terrorism and extremism. If we'd have let the Russians get away with it, it's unbelievable. But it's happening on our streets. Diplomacy with David Lammy moved to Geneva, and several European colleagues met the Iranian foreign minister. They repeated concerns about Iran's nuclear ambitions and its breaking of international rules. The talks finished with no fixed decisions. No fixed decisions on the next moves even, or on the next negotiations, but a willingness to try. Ultimately, the UK and the European push is to keep talking, trying to stop the war spreading more widely. But some sources question whether it makes any difference at all. This is American now. He said Europe is pretty irrelevant in all of this. He's a senior figure in the Trump administration, and the American president even said so out loud. Iran doesn't want to speak to Europe. They want to speak to us, the American figure said. Europe is not going to be able to help in this one, Donald Trump said. I'm getting a message through, which I'll try and ignore. They want to speak to us, the American guy says. Europe's not able to help. Donald Trump said, missing the diplomatic discussions. Irrelevance, irrelevance, irrelevance. Starmer is irrelevant. David Lammy is irrelevant. European officials are irrelevant. Other sources describe diplomacy as a sticking plaster, questioning how effective it can be when Israel is so clearly intent on breaking the status quo and changing the shape of the region, hoping for regional change and regime change in Iran and stopping them creating a nuclear bomb. Can you imagine Iran with a nuclear bomb? They've already said death to Israel. The former senior official told me Israel think this is a once in a lifetime. It's now or never. It doesn't represent a long-term solution, but if you're in Tel Aviv, the obvious riposte is, yes, we're still alive. Another security source suggested that UK would not be relevant by taking a preachy European position, like a teacher in a playground, but could instead pursue alignment with Americans for our own hard interests. We have oil in Iran. Aligning with America is so often a no-brainer for British Prime Ministers. But a Labour Prime Minister aligning with Trump to bomb a country in the Middle East? That's something else. The Labour-controlled UK government is made up of a majority of anti-Israel, pro-Palestinian supporters, and that has spilled over into the anti-Israel, pro-peace with Iran. That sentiment is putting Starmer in a pickle, already facing a backlash from his own backbenchers on benefit cuts. He has already been forced into U-turns on the winter fuel pensioners' allowance. He's facing a possible country's bankruptcy crisis due to putting employment taxes up, such as the national insurance hike on businesses. His inheritance tax on farmers. He's in a quandary, or should he or shouldn't he back Trump and the USA on the attack on Iran, as the Americans say it? And how would this decision affect the outcome of his anti-Brexit deals with European partners that he's come back from, boasting he's got these deals? Starmer and his government have not made a good start. And as the country holds its breath, awaiting his decision, should I back Trump or should I not? Do we join the war that Iran already considers us part of? If they didn't, why have we had to stop already 20 terrorist attacks from Iran? Don't forget, Iran doesn't just attack directly. It uses other countries, other bodies, the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, as proxies. We're at war, whether we like it or not. So, do we join the war that Iran already considers us part of, or do we remain on the sidelines? But we remain on high alert to the terrorist attacks here in the UK and on our assets abroad. It's a big decision for Starmer because of his backbenchers could lose him the prime ministership. They can revolt. He's already fighting a revolt at the moment. You know, he's struggling to retain his position. What does he do? I know what I'd do. Do you know what you'd do? Let's hear from your comments what you would do in his position. Or would you be in his position? Would you have put yourself in that position in the first place? What does he believe in? When Corbyn was the leader, he was a Corbynite. When he became the leader, he ceased to be a Corbynite and put him out of the party. What does he believe in? I don't know. Do you? So, comments, please, comments. Don't forget that subscribe button. Don't forget it. Press that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a penny. Doesn't even cost you a cent. Not even a rupee. It's totally free to subscribe. So don't forget to subscribe. Press the like button if you like these things. And don't forget, be safe, be good. And I'll see you later on in the day. But for now, I'm going shopping. I've got my weekly shopping to do. So bye for now and be good, be safe, and goodbye from DJ.